Good morning. How you guys doing today? I first want to start the day off by just thanking my subscribers for subscribing and taking the time out of your day to leave a comment, things like that, hitting that like button. I really value your comments, and I really appreciate that you value the information that I'm giving you. I want to encourage you, new subscribers, those that are watching, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment because it helps out the channel. And I like to know uh, your feedback. Well, anyway, today I want to talk to the box truck drivers. You know, I've said before in my previous videos that I drove box trucks before, and I still do, not necessarily drive them, but I operate as a carrier along with my warehouse shipping center. And I want to get into the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons. I also want to get into in the future long haul versus local, things like that, and all the different areas that you can work your box truck to maximize the potential of your box truck. Uh, I was very local. I also did long haul, but after I did the math, running local worked for me. And to each his own. And there's different lanes for everybody. But after doing the math, I realized that I can make a lot of money local. And after you know running under somebody for about 3 4 years, not just somebody, a big company here in my area, and that I learned some valuable information, you know, and I kept my eyes open, and I wanted to grow my business because not only was I just looking short term, I was looking very long term, because in my dream and my goal and my desire was to be able to do all things logistics, and I'm talking about freight forwarding, uh, brokerage, uh, warehousing, shipping and receiving, you know, and things like that. All things logistics, warehouse logistics, and even final mile, hot shot, and things like that. But what I want to do today is just let you know, um, if you in the box truck division, push it and push it hard, and keep your eyes open, and be attentive, be very attentive, and be very safe, and uh, study your craft, learn what the manufacturers do. And this is if you want to move forward in logistics. Learn what the manufacturers do. Learn what the responsibility of the freight forwarder is. Learn what the details of the broker's assignment. Even learn what dispatching does. Because your main goal shouldn't just be to deliver freight, to pick up freight, and to deliver freight. It should be to be a carrier. You know, you start off as an independent contractor unless you are driving um, somebody else's truck, or you're assigned to a shipper that hires your truck. But you start off as an independent contractor, and then the next move from there is to become a carrier. And to be a carrier, there's certain certifications that you need. And what is a carrier? It's a step up in moving freight. Because as a carrier, you're operating on your own, and you have contracts, and so you have several contracts, and the places that has contract you, basically the freight forwarder or the shipping warehouses in your community. What they would do is they would send you quotes alongside uh, with other carriers, and you would send your quotes back in, and the best quote would win. And you have to have a rate sheet. You have to be TSA certified. You have to be custom certified. You need a twig card. You have to have a certain amount of insurance. Your truck or trucks, because as a carrier, you want more than one truck, and you want a couple of drivers, and your trucks have to meet DOT standards and regulations and things like that. But these are some of the things I want to get into in the future. But today, what I want to talk about is maximizing your your box truck, getting the full potential out of your box truck, because there's so many things that you can do that's not just related to your route. And I want to share with you some of the things that I did. Now, these extras that I'm gonna give you that could benefit you, it really only works for the local delivery guy, because if you're over the road, it's kind of hard to establish, what I'm gonna tell you. Now, one thing that I used to do in my box truck on the weekends, a lot of times, this is little hustles, and I hate to use the word hustles, but little additives that you can do on the weekends or at night. And if it produces and it costs for you to spend more time in that area, that's even better. Now, one thing that I did with my box trucks was that I would visit the local furniture stores that didn't have a delivery truck or a delivery driver. And I would get flyers together and cards together, and I would go visit them, and I'd give them my flyers and my cards, and I would establish a rate. At the time that I did it, I would my rates were $80 for a 30 mile radius, because uh, most furniture stores, their customers are about 30 mile radius. It's very seldom where you have a customer that's 150, 80 miles away or something like that. But most of them are 30 mile radiuses. And so I would pass out my flyers to the local uh, furniture stores and introduce myself. And they would be glad to have you deliver furniture for them, because that's one of the problems that they have. Some customers will come in to buy furniture, but they didn't have anybody to deliver it. So I would put my flyers in there, and on the weekends I would come to the store. I get a phone call, and I would come to the store, and I have 5 or 6 deliveries. So 5 deliveries times $80 is $400, and most of the deliveries were pretty easy. 2 items, 2 to 3 items, a sectional a couch, a table with some chairs, and things like that. And if it was ever something that needed to be assembled, then you know we would charge them an assembly price, and uh, that assembly price was like $50 an assembly, and that worked out pretty good, to the place where I had to put a truck there full time, and put 2 workers there full time, and during the week, uh, daily, I would do about $400 $500 a day, and then on the weekend we would do $800 to $1,200, and that was always cash money. That's a good place to start at. Another thing that I would do with my box trucks was, or a box truck, um, I would go to local apartments, and I would go inside and talk to the management. Now, local apartments, they have, or any apartment, they have appliances that don't work, or they're old, or there's something wrong with them. And a lot of times they have to store those appliances in the mechanic room, which is never, or the maintenance room, which is never a huge spot. The square footage is always pretty much small. Most of them are like 10 by 10. It's like a little storage, and they'll be happy to have you come and pick those appliances up. And what I would do with those appliances once I would pick them up, I would either stage them in a location or in a small storage or something. And then after that, once I got enough, I'll run it to the local scrap yard. And a truckload like that will get you, let's see, say you got a 16 footer. A truckload of appliances, washers, dryers, and refrigerators. And so, on a weekend, that probably put another $400 in your pocket, And believe it or not, I had about I'm gonna say about 8 apartments that I service, and like I said, they'd be glad, they'd be more than happy to have you come remove that dunnage away for them, because they gotta figure out how to scrap it themselves, and then most of the maintenance workers they get tired of moving that stuff back and forth, trying to make room and all that. And then what I did too, I always formed a relationship with the maintenance man because he would always store it away somewhere. Give me a call when it's time to pick it up. And another thing that I would do, I would ride around the local apartments. And this is a hustle. This is a hustle right here. I would ride around the local apartments and just hit the trash cans on Saturdays, right? On Saturdays, mainly, and also on the 1st and 3rd and the 15th and the end of the month. And so often, appliances would be at the trash cans. And I would put those trash cans in the truck, either go stash them or go run them to the local local scrap yard. And that's another thing that I would do. And another thing that I would do. So I used to deliver for Amazon at night. I would do my local daily run, and then at night I would drive a lane for Amazon. And if anybody's familiar with Amazon, that is another place where you can put your box truck. Now, only thing I don't like about running my box truck at Amazon is that they don't pay a whole lot, but they run you, you know. And I think they pay $1 and something a mile. And if you're gonna run with Amazon, I found out that you don't want to run no distance. You want to run local. And anyway, so when I was working for Amazon, I noticed that everybody's truck was dirty. Just think about it. You're a box truck driver. You know by now that very seldom do you have the time or the strength or the desire to clean your own box truck. So a light went off. I'm like, man, everybody's box truck is dirty. So I went and bought me a pressure washer. And it doesn't have to be a big pressure washer. And I would meet box truck drivers, and I would pressure wash their truck, and it's just an outside detail. Most of it is just spraying the dirt off of it. Because when you take a box truck to the truck stop car wash, they don't do much to it. So I just did what they did, sprayed it down. If it got grease on it, I had my little degreaser, spray that on there and spray that truck down. And most of the time that's a $60, $80 um, um, gain. And a lot of times on the weekends I do 5 to 8 of those jobs. So there's always different things that you can do with your box truck outside of running your route. Another thing that I did with my box trucks was that I would go around to the apartments. Again, the apartments, very lucrative at the apartments. I would go around to the apartments and go to the management, and I give them my flyers. Say, hey, if you guys need somebody to move your residence, please give me a call. And I would leave my flyers there, and you'll get phone calls here and there on the first, on the end of the month, on the middle of the month, and that's another. What the way I charge was $199 an hour per man, right? And some customers you had to give them a little break depending on what their finances were. So that's another thing that I did. I moved residents at apartments, and another thing that I would do would take my flyers, you know, to local storages. You'll be surprised how many people at the storages don't want to rent, like such as U-Haul or some a U-Haul storage, or your just your local storage, and they might have U-Haul trucks out there, but a lot of their customers don't want to move their own stuff. You leave your flyers there, you leave your cards there, and then you make acquaintance with the manager, property manager, and you'll be surprised how many phone calls that that you would get. And another thing that I would do, my local convenience stores. Now, I know you guys been to convenience stores often, and you would see Lay's potato chip deliver. You would see Coca Cola come and deliver, Bear's bread and things like that. But a lot of times, the store owner or store manager has to go do bulk pickups. They don't like doing that. So I would introduce myself to the convenience store manager or owner, give them my business card, give them my flyer, say, hey, anytime you need a pickup or so, I'll be happy to go do those pickups for you. And you'll be surprised that they'll give you a call. Hey, I got uh, 20, 30, 40 cases of sodas. Can you go pick this up for me? Some of the stores even would send me out to pick up little coolers and things like that, and that was lucrative. So you got a box truck. You just got to come up with other ways, because I know you have found out, if you've been in the business longer than a year, you know by now that there's a slow season, right? You know there's a slow season, and if your truck ain't moving, you're not making the money. So you just have to be creative, creative. And I just wanted to give you some of these tokens that could benefit you. Another thing that I would do, I would go to the airport on the cargo side where they receive freight, ship freight. And I know some of you box truck drivers are familiar with delivering to the airports. Well, a lot of times what I would do, I would put a for hire sign on my truck, and I would sit out there in the parking lot, and you'll be surprised how many people need your services. But you may need to be TSA certified. But if that person that's willing to hire you, he's possibly TSA certified. And I've gotten great contracts just by doing that. I've met many manufacturers just by doing that. They had a dilemma; they couldn't pick up their freight, last day of storage, and they hire you. And that's just another thing that I did to maximize my box truck. And it's just a lot of avenues and things like that box truck will lead you into, just by having it. But I want to encourage you to keep your eyes open, and be aware. And I'm gonna give you more information. Be aware that there's many areas in box truck driving, many things that you can do. Uh, there's some areas that's more lucrative than others. I also want to tell you and teach you how to get your SCAC regulations so you can be a carrier. I want to teach you how to get TSA certified. Most of you may already know how to get a TWIC card. I want to give you the information on how to be hazmat certified. Also, in the business, I've learned how to write my own DOTs and MC numbers. So if you need that type of information, Miss Janice, she can, matter of fact, she can write your DOT MC number, and it's cheaper than what the government would do. Um, as I said, so many different ways where you can utilize and maximize your uh, your box truck. And I want to thank you guys for just sitting there and listening. And hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and spend time with me, because I got more information that I want to give. Talk to you soon.